People consider Korea is a developed country. They are in the G20 and OECD, and they are even among the safest countries in the world. You may already be aware of how well-liked K-culture is. K-pop, Samsung, LG, Hyundai, BTS, Parasite, and Gangnam Style. A comprehensive inventory of all these cultures in the world is unachievable. Globally, their technology is frequently utilized. Thanks to their excellent technology, consumers may order packages and receive them within a day, only in Korea. Public transportation is clean, affordable, and well-established. They could get to any part of Seoul in an hour. There is cordial and friendly customer service. All around the country, high-speed internet and public Wi-Fi are accessible. There are numerous food delivery and online services available. Korea has achieved remarkable development in recent decades. Right after the war, South Korean GDP was lower than that of North Korea, Guatemala, and the Philippines. But in the early 1960s, the country pushed ahead with export-oriented economic development plans. So they set out to import the fabrics under President Park Chung-hee Park. It undoubtedly succeeded, and even in the 1970s, they began to import chemical facilities and heavy industrial products. Definitely, they made a huge success in a decade. It was called the Miracle on the Hangang River. But as always, a coin has two sides. While one side developed rapidly, the other side of the crisis is gradually creeping around Korea. They are unable to afford to consider a crisis, so there is no preparation. It is a demographic crisis with a shrinking and aging population. But now, a huge crisis is just around the corner for South Korea. Let's find out.
More creative, more marvelous. #1 in side channel, Zena.
Young generation in Korea used to say Korea is hell. They don't have the affordability to strive. The young generation welfare isn't equipped. First, the wage rising rate couldn't catch the customer price rate. And when people pregnant, most of them can't use the maternity leaves when they want. Once they use that, their career going to be broken. In fact, parental leave usage rate is much lower than average of OECD. According to the Korea National Human Rights Commission, 71.1% of position and promotion discrimination and 69.8% of reward and assessment discrimination were founded during the investigation. Kim Young-hae, the Korean writer, said marriage become the culture of middle class. Low-income individuals should take a risk when they wish to get married. Even they have lived in the waves of high competitiveness and comparison. This situation has been accelerated since people use the Insta. They see the luxury hotel room, bags, watches. They cheated by this fake millionaires. This situation makes people's standard of normal life higher. They believe if you want to get married, you should have the ability to buy a house and should have a car for family like this. Also, you must afford the cost from buying a house to private education for your baby. As a result, young people in Korea call themselves a dank YOLO. They just stop to marry. They born and raised in the high competitiveness and comparison. This makes youth depression. So, they believe academic backgrounds make people worth. They believe that would be fail unless they go elite high schools such as foreign language or autonomous high schools and universities in Seoul. That's why Korea is the most well-known nation for private education. According to a survey conducted by the Ministry of Education and Statistics Korea on 74,000 students from 3,000 primary, middle, and high schools across the country, total expenditures on private education stood at 26 trillion won, $19.7 billion in 2022, up 10.8% from a year ago. Private education, they consult their child to go to university and get a job, and the parents believe it's essential for a better life. For instance, nowadays, being a doctor is the kind of job that is the signature of high income and fame. Every parent, especially in Gangnam, Seoul parent wants their child to go to a medical university and become a doctor. So, they plan for their child before going to elementary school to professional consultant. Literally, they make the child from school grade to school report. Private education ensures that the child meets the university grade requirements, and the consultant plans him to do extracurricular activities to go to a top-class university. Since it has a direct impact on both the birth rate and mental health, Korea's ubiquitous culture of competition has grown to be a significant social issue. With a suicide rate of 25.2 per 100,000 people in 2022, the highest among Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development countries, Korea has serious mental health issues. In 2022, there were more than 1 million patients suffering from depression, a 32.8% rise in only 5 years. One reason for the competition, according to experts, is the Korean economy's slowing growth. According to research published in the Journal of Family Theory and Review, the post-1997 economic crisis, labor market competition, and global market liberalization are the main causes of Korea's hypercompetitiveness. To obtain spaces at prominent colleges and top-tier firms, younger generations are investing significant time and resources in private institutes, demonstrating the emphasis on competitiveness that permeates both education and work. The study notes that it is far more difficult to land a well-paying job in Korea without a top degree, and that increased economic instability, particularly for those entering the labor market in non-standard and contract work, can heighten the struggle to enter elite colleges. The study looked at how a person's college attendance affects their social standing in Korea, including their chances of getting married. Korea has a super low birth rate and a super aging society. Extremely top-heavy population structure. Basically, the ideal of population structure is a pyramid type like the 1960s. Korea's population pyramid's problem is the rapid growth of the dependency ratio and the decreasing of the economically active population. Given that only a small portion of the population, the economically active population must afford the dependency of elders and youth. The national pension will be unstable. The National Pension Fund is expected to be drained by 2055 if no changes are made to its structure. After the fund is drained, the pension will be converted a fully funded pension into pay-as-you-go pension system. The current pension insurance premium rate in Korea is 9%, but after this conversion, the rate will skyrocket. They are going to spend almost 35% only on pension in 2080. When you add other taxes, almost 50% of your income will be taxable. And those are not the end. There's two major issues, overconcentration and Korean conflict left. Next time, we're going to look those problems specifically. Please subscribe and see you.